Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I have my very late, shocking May reading wrap up. I know I'm always late, but I promise that I'm almost all caught up with my wrap up. I still have June, but I think I'm going to be doing something different for June. But can we take a minute to appreciate my little collection of scissors? I think I ordered like 2 or 3 more. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a stationery haul because you guys don't seem to be watching that. So every time I post any stationery haul, the views are very low. So I don't think I'm going to keep doing that in the future. But just wanted to let you know, I just ordered some more scissors because I'm growing my collection. But anyways, I have to warn you, this reading journal for this month, it was very chaotic. I usually go from one page to the next, not on this one. I've been jumping back and forth from pages, from reviews. I'm also using a new form for my book reviews, for my layouts, that I think I'm going to be incorporating from now on, because why didn't I think of that before? I'm really happy with how it came out, and you will see that at the end of the video. But for the May cover page, I'm happy how it turned out. I'm not 100% in love with it, but I'm okay with it. So I'll probably go back later on and change it. We shall see when the year-end flip through comes up, and we'll see if I make any changes from how it is today, which I probably will, because I'm not in love with it. I'm okay with it, but I wanted to use these papers because I love them. They are, I believe, in my last stationery haul, and yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue on doing that, like I said before, because you guys don't seem to watch that. So I don't know if I should do it because I want to do it and I enjoy doing it, or just skip it. I don't know. You guys let me know. But anyways, this is what this setup is. There's a jump between what I'm doing because I lost some of the footage. I do apologize for that. I wasn't paying attention. It wasn't that it was corrupted or anything. It's just that I deleted it by mistake because I wasn't paying attention. There's a lot of mistakes that were made setting up the pages, the reviews, and I don't know. It took me a long time to set up this month, the month of May, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I was just like, I wasn't paying attention, obviously. But anyways, I do hope that you do enjoy the video. Please make sure to subscribe, because help me get to 1,000 subscribers, please. I don't know if it's gonna happen by the end of the year. I wish it would, but anyways, subscribe if you haven't, and enjoy the video. cover setup. Not bad. I mean, I really like it, but I think I used the wrong tape. Like seriously, I don't know why I used that tape. It doesn't match, so I'll probably go back later on and add something to it to match the bottom part because I kind of like it, but I'm not 100% sold. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's not bad, but then you see, I tried to go over with another tape and it's not matching. So something else. I gotta look for something else eventually. So now I'm gonna move on to the calendar part where I keep track of the days that I read each book. Some book took me longer, others not as long because I took a few days off from work and I was able to read. That's all I did. Seriously. I had some things that I needed to do and in between all I did was read and I was I was in heaven. It was what I needed. So yeah, so here I'm setting up. I have to say I did have a very good reading month. I ended up reading 10 books and a total of 3,702 pages and an average rating of 4.05. I have to say, May was a really good reading month for me. And now this is where things change a little bit. I usually put the covers of the book that I read right next to the calendar once I fill in my stats. This time I decided I was going to do it a bit differently. I was going to be posting the book covers after I did the review, but I completely forgot about it. I will do it at the end of the video once I do the final flip through. But this is where things started to change in the order that I do things. So, yeah. And now we're gonna move on to the first book. It is not the first book that I read, but it's the first one that I decided to create I have something in mind. I changed my mind. This is what it is, okay? So, the first book we have The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno Garcia. She's one of my new favorite authors. I believe this is about my third book, second or third book that I read by her, and I really enjoy her books. And this one, if you're in the mood for slow burn romantic fantasy with beautiful prose and strong character work, The Beautiful Ones is worth your time. This is set in an alternate Gilded age. We follow Nina, a young woman with telekinetic powers trying to survive her disastrous debut into high society. She's mocked, dismissed, and called the Witch of Old House until Hector arrives, a famous performer with the same ability. He sees something in Nina no one else does. What starts as a mentorship grows into something more, but Hector is hiding painful secrets, and Nina is caught between love and society's harsh expectations. I really enjoy this book so much. I gave it 5 stars. Really, definitely pick it up because it is definitely one of my favorite ones. And now this is where everything goes downhill from here. What I was telling you at the beginning that mistakes were made. Here's the first one. You see how I'm doing the E and the B? Okay, this happened a few times doing the setups, not just for this book, but for other ones. It is what it is. I had to leave it in because I just had to. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B. Schwab. What if you lived forever, but no one ever remembered you? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is about a girl who makes a deal with a dark god to escape the small life planned for her and ends up cursed to be forgotten by everyone she meets. But after 300 years of solitude, she meets someone who remembers. This book was everything: beautiful, aching, and filled with quiet power. Addie's loneliness, her strength, her longing. It all hit me so hard. And Henry, I loved Henry. But I also loved Luke. Was it Luke? Lucas? Luke? Anyways, I just love this book so much, and I cannot believe that it took me this long to read it. 5 stars, 5 stars, and yes, definitely. This is one of my favorite settings. I don't think I messed this one up. Well, maybe a little bit, but this one is one of my favorite settings in May. So I hope you enjoy it. And now we're gonna move on to Angie Kills a King by Evan McKeel. I hope I'm saying that right. Angie kills a king and runs for her life. Then everything gets even more dangerous. If you like fantasy, dark, gritty, and packed with real human struggles, you want to pick up Angie Kills a King. This isn't a gentle journey, it's messy, brutal, and filled with unforgettable characters who fight to survive. I really enjoyed this one. This one was one of my anticipated releases for 2025. I ended up giving it 4 stars because even though I enjoyed it enough to give it 4 stars, the pacing suffer somewhere right about the middle of the story, but then it picks up again. And I don't know. Now that I think about it, maybe it should have been like a 3.5. But anyways, at the time, I thought it deserved 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. We have Angie from the very beginning. We know, as the title says, Angie kills a king, a bad king, and then she has to run for her life, and then she she gets kidnapped by some people, and it's a journey. They go on a journey, and a lot of things happen in this journey. And I ended up liking the characters actually. So, will I continue with this series? Yes, I want to know what else happens. So, yeah, 4 stars to Angie Kills a King. we're gonna move on to the Alice Network. I read this one because it was a gift from my niece, and I find out she told me there's another book that follows the story on this one, which is very interesting. And after she told me that, I'm just like, I really enjoy the story. But anyways, the Alice Network, if you love historical fiction that brings you right into the heart of the past, the Alice Network might be your next favorite read. Set across two timelines, we follow Charlie. She's pregnant, she's defiant, and she's searching for her missing cousin in 1947. And we also follow Eve, a former World War I spy, now older and broken by her past. Their stories come together in a way that's messy, emotional, and unforgettable. I really love this part of the story as well. From underground spirings to deep personal grief, this book covers a lot. It's painful, hopeful, and full of women who fought harder than anyone gave them credit for. I loved it. I think you might too if you love book settings, stories that are set in during war. I think you're gonna like this one. Now we're gonna move on to another favorite author, new to me, by the way. This is my third book, and this is Don't Sleep with the Dead by Nevo. Now, Don't Sleep with the Dead asks, what if Gatsby made a deal with the devil? And what if Nick Carraway was so in love with him he couldn't let him go, even in death? This novella is haunting, heartbreaking, and full of quiet magic. Nick's life in 1940s New York is built on secrets, paper spells, and the ache of memory. He's a man haunted by the ghost of Gatsby and maybe by the truth of who he really is. If you love stories that feel like poetry, that tangle grief with longing, and give you just a little bit of magic to hold on to, this one is for you. Now, this is the sequel to The Chosen and the Beautiful. That is the reason why I picked up, I think it was in March or April that I picked up The Chosen and the Beautiful. That was my second book by Nick Vall, and I absolutely enjoyed it. The twist, the take on the Gatsby, it was really good. And before that, I read another book. I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember the title, but it was the first book that I read by this author, and I absolutely fell in love with her writing. And this novella actually, because it's a very short novella, was no different from the other two books that I have read by her. And I'm looking forward to reading more from this author. It is a new to me 2025 new author, and I just can't get enough. And the Great Gatsby take on this, perfect. Loved it. 4 stars. And now we're going to move on to the next book, which is De Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. I gave The Hacienda 3.5 stars, and if you love Gothic horror with a historical twist, this might be your next book you read. Set in post-independence Mexico, it follows Beatriz, who marries into wealth only to move into a haunted estate where something dark and ancient lurks. She teams up with Padre Andres, a priest with a complicated past, to fight off whatever is haunting San Isidro. The tension builds up slowly but beautifully. There's graphic horror, exorcist vibes, a forbidden romance that simmers just under the surface, and some very rich commentary on colonialism and class. I didn't always feel connected to the characters, but the atmosphere and writing completely sucked me in. If that sounds good to you, if you like Gothic horror vibes, then this is the book for you. Give it a try. Also, I was trying to create something here. I think I like the way it came out, except, for the little mistake I made at the end for the title. But I think this came out good. I wish I would have taken the whole page to set it up, because now that I look at it, I'm like, this came out good. It looks really good. I should have just spent more time on it. But I ended up liking the book. I gave the book 3.5 stars, and I really like the setup that I did for this page. So I hope you like it. What do you think? Guys, let me know in the comments. Now we're gonna move on to the next book, which was a surprise for me because I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. And it has like a type of time travel theme that I just love. And yeah, so The 7 Year Sleep by Ashley Poston was such a cozy surprise. I gave it 4 stars. It's about Clementine, a book publicist still grieving the loss of her aunt, who moves into her aunt's magical apartment, an apartment that occasionally slips through time. One morning, she finds a stranger in her kitchen, a charming chef named Ian, who's living 7 years in the past. While the time mechanics were a bit fussy and the romance started fast, I didn't mind. The emotional journey, the grief, the personal growth, those are what made this book shine. It's not just about falling in love, it's about rediscovering joy and allowing yourself to dream again. If you love magical realism blended with heartfelt romance, this one is worth picking up. Also, I tried to mimic the cover. It didn't work out the way I was planning. We all know that yellow and brown make like a yellow mustard, but for some reason I ended up adding orange and red and white, and I just didn't know what I was doing. I lost the plot on this, like seriously. But I think in the end it came out okay. Not perfect, but I'm not mad at it. What do you guys think? Let me know. I was just trying to recreate the cover, and I was going to do it with pencils and color pencils, but then it just it didn't work. So sorry. But I still end up liking the end product. So I hope you do too. So now we're gonna move on to the last three books that I'm setting up for. I was gonna say read, but no. This is a part of a series. The series is called The Sorcerer's Song. The first book is The Bard's Blade. The second one is The Chorus of Fire, and the third one is The Sword Elegy, something like that. My least favorite book in the trilogy, but I needed to read it to find out what happened. And somehow I did not like it. I really enjoyed book one and book two. And when I got to book three, I was just like, what happened? What happened? So, anyways, The Bard's Blade, which is the first book, the story begins in the idyllic land of Bellari, a peaceful place hidden behind magical barriers. But when a stranger breaches the border with a whisper of a rising evil, life changes forever for Mariah and Len, two kind-hearted people anchored in one another, even when torn apart by prophecy and fate. When Len crosses into the outside world of Lamoria to protect what he holds dear, he enters a realm of religion, fanaticism, political intrigue, and threats far more terrifying than he could imagine. I really enjoyed the first book. The characters really drew me in, the world, the story. I really enjoyed it. I believe I gave, yeah, the first book I gave 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It should have been a 5 stars because I really enjoy these characters. And here, while I'm setting up, is I just had some medieval things that I wanted to use for this setup, which I thought it was perfect because the story starts with these two characters that are betrothed and in a small little town away from everybody else, hidden by magic. And I don't want to spoil it for you, so I had to be careful. I really enjoy the story. And now the setup for this is a bit different. As you can see, I tried something new. I started sketching the title, which I really love how it ended up doing, and I really enjoyed it. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you enjoy, because you are going to see more of it in future videos when I set up my reading journal. And I was just like, why didn't I think of it? And then I was thinking about my reading journal back in 2023. I used to do this type of setup, and I was just like, why did I stop? I don't even know. But anyways, I'm gonna move on to the second book, which is A Chorus of Fire, because I need to move on because lost a lot of footage and I'm not really sure how far I got to the second book. But anyways, in the sequel, the world of Lamoria grows darker, the characters more tested, and the bond between Lem and Mariah more complex and bittersweet. Separated by circumstance and chance, by the trials of war, Lem and Mariah are no longer the innocent lovers from peaceful Bailari. Lem has become an assassin. Meanwhile, Mariah is forging her own path, learning magic, making sacrifices, and discovering power she never imagined herself capable of. The character growth on this second book was amazing. I want to recommend the series, but book 3 book 3 wasn't my favorite. So it's like I'm having a hard time recommending this series because in order to wrap up the story, you have to read book 3. But I gave, like I said, the first book I gave 4 stars, which it should have been a 5. Then the second book, A Chorus of Fire, I gave 4 stars. And then everything went downhill. It wasn't bad. I gave it a 3 stars to the Swords Elegy. But seriously, compared to the first 2 books, I just couldn't do it. I don't know what happened. I wonder what happened. I just don't know. But anyways, so I'm having a hard time recommending the trilogy because I don't want people to get to the 3rd book and said, oh my god, her taste in book is awful. But the first 2 books, love, and highly recommend. So yeah, so here I am. Anyways, I tried something new for this setup, and I think I'm going to keep using it from now on. Not only like sketching the titles like I used to in my reading journal back in 2023, but the actual using tracing paper to actually write the review. It looks so good, at least to me. Let me know in the comments if that is something that you like. I was thinking I use actually trace paper, but I should have used vellum paper because it's better. And what happened was is like I went crazy. I wanted to use all my paper to decorate this page because it was such a great fit for this story that I forgot to leave space for my review. And then I was like, I can write it on a separate piece of paper and then just stick it in here. But then I was like, I can use tracing paper or vellum paper. But I didn't have any color vellum paper, which I ordered from Amazon. And now you're gonna see it all over my review. So because I love it. I love the technique. And why didn't I think of it before? I know I sound like a broken record, but I really enjoyed the setup. I enjoyed the first two books, and I'm happy how everything came out. Now I just need your input. Like, I need you to let me know if you like this. This is like my favorite setup in the whole entire month of May. Probably the whole entire year so far. I don't know. You guys let me know, what do you think? Okay, guys, this is the end. This is where I lost everything else. I do apologize for that. I wasn't paying attention. I deleted some files. But you're going to see the end results shortly. So now to the final flip through. And here we are, the cover page for May. I like it. Don't know about the washi tape with the sky. I need to do something about it because it really bothers me. Here we have the calendar. I need to print two of the book covers. And here is the finished one. Doesn't that look amazing? I just love the way, I'm so proud of myself. I'm just like, I love it. I love it. I love the way it came out. I'm going to start doing it because I just love to fill my review pages with pictures. Please tell me you don't like that. Look at how nice that looks. I'm sorry, I can't get over myself. I'm just like going crazy with my setup. Love that. These are my favorite setups in the whole entire reading journal so far. And I do have some empty spaces in some of the reviews. I will fill that in later on. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. And please make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like the video so that you can help me grow the channel. I'm stuck at 400 subscribers. Please help me get to 1,000. Here we have the review of the beautiful ones. Also, the spoilers, if you try to read this, there's spoilers there, so do it at your own risk. Beautiful. That came out even better. De Hacienda. I need to put something else in there, but look at how nice that look. I'm so proud of myself. I did spend a lot of time with this journal. Look at that. The 7-year sleep. What a nice surprise. Look at that. I have few spaces left for my June reads and my stats. I don't know if I'm going to be recording a mid-year because I'm already late. And I don't know if you guys want to see it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you on the next one.